Welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Another exciting show and another exciting guest. Actually, two exciting guests. We have my co-host all the way from Ohio who's cleaning up her past, the one, the only, Miss Jennifer what?
Brzeziska.
Brzeziska. You know, before the end of the day, I'm going to learn that name before you leave out of here this weekend.
I'm going to make sure that happens.
Make sure that happens. And look, we got to introduce the Queen of Soul, Indiana's own, the new R&B Indiana queen herself, the one, the only, Miss Kay Huggins.
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, Andre. Thank you very much.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
I like the hair. You know what? Every time I look at your posts, I say, damn, I thought I was creative. You always come up with some creative, whether it be a hairstyle, clothes, you know, the little earring. Look, do you see what I went and got done, right?
Extra ear piercing.
I said, okay, I gotta match her energy.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to switch up the hair. You know, I'm a curly girl, so
yeah.
Like it sometimes it does what it wants to do, and I just go with the flow.
So let's get right down to business. You're getting ready to broaden your portfolio.
Yes.
You're getting ready to start a podcast, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of that to help. You already got a brand to elevate it even more. Tell me about what the podcast is, the name of it, and what's the purpose behind it, and why combine both music and podcast together now?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And
I like when people say that.
I was asked a similar question recently about what's the difference between passion and purpose.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And your question basically has the same answer. So my passion is music. That's what I love to do. That's what makes my heart beat, my soul soar. Like, I love music. It's part of me. It's not what I do. It's part of who I am. So that's the passion. My purpose is, or anyone's purpose is when you expand that to help others. And so my goal for the podcast and On Location with Kay Hugs is to give other artists an opportunity, or whoever an opportunity to be seen and heard. So that's where passion meets purpose. Is I love what I do with my artistry, and then I also want to help others get whatever it is they're doing out as well.
And you know what? I want people to make sure they are listening. So I want you to keep that mic close to you, even when you're moving. Your voice is too beautiful to just let it go somewhere.
Well, thank you.
I like the fact that you said to give opportunity.
Yes.
And I think that's what we're missing in today's society is understanding purpose and understanding opportunity, and realizing they both need to go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
So, but why a podcast? I mean, like, what's the purpose behind it? Like, what's the genre?
Well, I've done interviews before with different celebrities, comedians, actors, local celebrities, national, international celebrities. I've done it before. And when I did that, I gave a lot of support to every person that I came in contact with. And that was before I was launched as Kay Hugs. Well, as Kay Hugs, the artist. So back then when I was doing that, no one knew that I was an artist or a singer. They just thought that I was, in radio and supporting them. So what happened was I said, hey, I'm ready to sing, and when I got back out there singing, that support came back to me full circle. And so what I realized is that a lot of people do a lot of gatekeeping, or there's jealousy, or it's like people are crab in the barrel. And what I realized from that is if you give from your heart, like if you share and if you help people, that will return to you. You don't have to gatekeep. You don't have to be like, oh no, I'm just helping myself. If you help others, it'll return to you.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Yes.
So we don't have to mention names. Give me an example of what you mean with the gatekeepers and the crabs in the bucket, and how that affected you, and more importantly, how did it keep you from elevating? And what were you trying to elevate to that particular scenario made you say, I'm not going to do that? This is why I'm doing this podcast.
It didn't keep me from anything.
I know.
I mean, I guess certain people thought they
I
would,
know.
but
Yeah.
you can't stop someone's purpose.
Yeah.
You can't stop when something is put inside you. No one can stop that.
Yeah.
Like if we're given free will, or if we're given talent and a purpose, there's no one that can stop that. Especially if you're determined and you don't let people, thwart you from what it is that you're doing and moving forward. So I guess I won't say it held me back, but I used to be with the cover band, and and at the time I was doing radio, and in the cover band I kept saying, "Hey, I write songs." We were just only doing cover songs. I kept saying, "I write songs," and a couple people listened, but for the most part, nothing came from it. Mm-hmm. And then just one day, I just decided that I'm gonna just sing and not do cover songs, and I'm going to write my songs because it's a gift that I have. And I just decided to leave the band. It wasn't any arguments. It wasn't any like bad blood, but I just sent him I was like, hey, I just decided I'm going to leave the band. I wish you nothing but the best. So what happened was that night I wrote my song So Long, and it was the first song that was on my first album, She Reigns. And I didn't really expect anything of it. I just left the band, I released it, and then I wrote the song that same night after I sent the email, went into the studio and recorded it. And then at the time, SoundCloud was like a big thing. And so I put it on SoundCloud, and then I posted it on Facebook. And I was like, hey, everybody, I wrote a song, let me know what you think. Now, mind you, I just left my band, like literally. So I ended up getting 3 bookings that week. And then a guitarist and a bass player was like, hey, why don't you get some live bass and guitar? So we went back into the studio, added live bass, added live guitar. Then we released it as a single. Then we released it on the album She Reigns. And then next thing I know, I'm getting just all kinds of attention that I wasn't expecting. Like, again, I just did this because it was on my heart to write. I did it. I loved it. And then next thing I know, I'm opening for Anthony Hamilton and SWV in Cleveland, Ohio. And and getting other opportunities like that to do festivals, and opening for the Zap Band at festivals. And again, like, it was to the point where people started asking me, like, what are you doing? How are you getting this? And I wasn't doing anything except for doing what I love.
You just changed the narrative by shaking your tree.
Yeah, I just did what I love, and I tried to do the best work, make it quality. I got it mixed and mastered. I did everything right, like as far as professionally, to make it sound like a professional sound.
Right.
And that's all I did, and people took to it. And I remember the festival I did where I opened for Zap Band. I was behind Kiki Wyatt's brother, Kendall Wyatt. I was so nervous, and it was crazy because that same band that I just left were supposed to go behind me.
Right.
And I learned that there were a couple band members that wanted to play behind me, and I learned that someone had called and said, hey, that's a conflict of interest because we're playing behind her. And so they got to play to a band, and I had to sing to tracks. Wow. And it was my first time like out as a festival by myself as K Hugs. I'm new on the scene like as K Hugs, and I'm like, oh my God, like I was so scared. And there's a photo of me that someone took, and I was on the stage, like it's this huge stage in a park, and I'm up there by myself, no band. And I remember thinking, oh my God, please don't throw apples at me. Please don't throw fruit at me. Please don't boo me. Like, oh my God, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
And so when I said that, like I started praying, but not out loud. I just put my head down, and I had both my hands to each side. And I had my head down, and a guy that I knew came from his motorcycle club and took a picture. He didn't know that's what I was doing, but he captured that moment where my hands were to my sides and my head was down. And I was like literally thinking, oh God, like, please let this be okay. I'm always a ball of nerves. It doesn't matter if it's a few people or thousands of people when I'm performing. I'm always a ball of nerves before I perform. So I always have to kind of get in a clear head space. And so I did that. The track comes on, I start singing. And as soon as I start singing, the nervousness goes away. It's like that every single time. And when I was nervous about will they like me, like I literally went behind Kiki Wyatt's brother. There's a crowd full of people. I'm up there. They don't know me. They kind of disperse. When I started singing, it was kids. It was old people. It was like a whole crowd of people came right back in front of the stage. And that was when I was like, oh my God, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like they're accepting me. Like it's genuine.
Such a beautiful opening. Now, you got a question, Jennifer?
No, well, I just was curious. What about that cover band? So after, I mean, what was their response then? To you took matters into your own hands. Wish them and with grace, right?
Yes,
and with grace. But so, what was their response?
They were kind. When I got off stage, they were coming up right behind me, so they were all back there waiting. One of them wiped my forehead because it was a hot summer day and I was sweating, and they all gave me a hug. And I mean, it's still all love whenever I see them. But you know, I just never looked back. You know, I never looked back. I just kept going, and it just kept the K Hugs brand just kept growing and growing and growing. And now here I am with my second album, some singles. I've charted on Amazon in the UK twice with 2 different songs. I've charted on their global soul charts. UK loves me for some reason. So I've been on Billboard Hot 80 with another single. So, you know, I'm grateful. You know, I feel like with me doing what is on my heart to do and what I love, the opportunities, and like I didn't ask for any of those. I didn't ask to chart. I didn't do anything for that to happen. It just happened. So that's what lets me know I'm on the right path when things come easy.
Now you're on a different path.
Yes.
You're entering the world of podcasts.
Yeah.
Everybody is now doing podcasts. It's amazing how it started out of a pandemic. And I love it because it shows another side of creativity. But it still has to be operated like a business.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
not easy either.
Yeah. Right.
Don't you know it?
Yeah, you said a mouthful. Knowing that, what are you worried about with this? You've been successful so far. Now you're going into the podcast where everybody has a podcast. What's going to make yours different than anybody else's podcast?
Well, I'm authentic. We talked about that the last time I was here. I'm authentic. I'm not trying to be like anyone else. I'm not trying to do anything like anyone else. That's why I'm an eclectic artist. I'm not trying to sound like anyone. I'm just going to do what I want to do, whatever's on my heart. So with the podcast, I actually feel blessed. I don't really feel too nervous about it because you recall I said that I used to interview celebrities and things like that, and I had already, my station manager that's in the UK, I had already given him some of those contacts, and he's already reached out and interviewed some of those celebrities himself. And so I've reached out to I don't want to say yet, I want to give it away.
Don't give it away. Yeah, we want to tune in.
I got something good.
Yeah.
Some stuff good coming up, especially after the first of the year. Man, I got a phenomenal actor and director and producer.
Now, is your podcast more entertainment driven?
I wouldn't say more. It is entertainment driven, but it's also going to be community driven as well.
Explain that a little bit.
So with me being an artist and also having these connections from the past, so I definitely want to showcase anyone who has given me a chance. So, you know, these celebrities that I'm speaking of, you know, I'm calling them back like, hey, let's do this again. We're doing it now on video, not just radio. And then I also want to give people locally a chance, businesses a chance to talk about what they're doing, other artists that are here a chance. Comedians, like whoever it is that is doing something, I want to give them a chance to be heard and seen. And my plan to do that is with the video and audio. People know me as an artist. Now they're about to get to know me with the podcast. I want to bring attention to what people are doing so everybody can succeed. I feel like we all can eat. And
Did you say that again? I like that.
I know. I like that.
I always say that we all can eat. I tell people that all the time.
I feel like we all can eat. I feel like we don't have to gatekeep. I don't feel like we have to like act like, oh, I'm going to do it and not help anybody else. I feel like you keep yourself back when you act like that. Yeah. When you're willing to showcase others and put others, and it doesn't have to always be about you, the support you gain and the support you give is like phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You'll learn that you don't have to really do much to get support because you're already like, people just want to support you in turn, especially if they like what it is that you're doing and you're doing the same thing for them. And the type of connections that I got from the first time doing it with just radio are like, you wouldn't believe some of the connections that I still have from that. And And I want to not only bring attention to those connections and bring them back in, but then use those connections to say, hey, I had this person on here that's a Hollywood celebrity. And then the very next week have a local singing group here, because I'm not bound to just, oh, you got to have a big name. You know, if you were doing something, I want you to be able to be heard. And so if I can use my brand and my platform to help you do that, then that's what I'm going to do that. And I'm always bragging on people anyway, even if they don't know it. I do it all the time.
Well, I think you realize that by pouring into others, it comes back to you even exponentially without
without trying. And
right.
It's not even an expectation. It's just
sure.
what happens. It's just like the law of attraction or whatever you want to call it. It's just easy.
I like the law of attraction.
Me too.
What are some of the podcasts that inspire you to even want to do a podcast? Because I usually think when you're getting ready to dive into something, you it's like you go shopping and you go, I like that show or I like this show, and I want to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but then add my own flavor. What's some of the podcasts that you want to mentor yours out of, but not really mentor, but it's helping you prepare for success?
Oh, well, yours, number one.
He wasn't fishing.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, you give a lot of people a voice, here in the city. And I understand some other things that you're about to do.
Thank you.
If it weren't for you, there wouldn't be a lot of the artists here getting an opportunity to be heard. So for one, you're an inspiration. That's why I'm sitting here right now. And then in the field of work that I do, my day job, I'm in the trade show business.
What do you doing today? I gotta ask this, and the reason why, because every time I talk to you, you're busy.
Yeah, I stay busy.
I literally feel like I'm bugging you. I'd be like, okay, I literally shake when I get ready to talk to you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, don't feel like that. I mean, I stay busy, so like a lot of people feel like, even people close to me, and I'm like, no, like as soon as I can, like I'll stop and call you back. But yeah, I am a very busy person. So my day job, I'm in the trade show business, so I work with the Atlanta home shows, and so basically,
I forgot about that. You know my sister-in-law.
That's right. Yep, Kim Lacey. Yeah. So I work with the Atlanta home shows, and that's part of my traveling. Then I also travel, for personal reasons, but I travel a lot, which is why I chose the title On Location with K Hugs, because if I'm out of town, and there's some people that I want to interview, you're on
right
location is wherever I am. And so I have like a tripod that folds up that I can fit in my purse. I have a mic that I can attach to my phone. We actually used that at our last home show because our social media and marketing manager came in town, and the mic that she had, it was either dead, something was wrong with it, but I had mine. And so we used that to interview some of the exhibitors for our social media marketing. So I stay ready. And then I also have connections in Houston with friendships and some other things that I'm about to be doing with the show. And so it's on location. Wherever I am, I'm going to give you a voice if I can.
You going to get to the UK?
Actually, because our station manager runs the station music from the UK, and because I've charted over there as an artist a few times, as I mentioned, I was on the UK Global Soul Charts #4. I charted at #3 and #7 on Amazon with 2 different songs, and I've been on Billboard Hot 80. So the UK loves me. So he and I have talked about like him finding some venues, and we going out there as a station and as an artist, and me performing and doing whatever. So the plan is to get out to the UK at some point on location.
Yeah.
When you talk about starting a podcast, you also talking about heavy marketing. How difficult is it for you to take that brand over and really, because it's a different marketing strategy. How difficult is it for you? And what have you been doing to prepare for the crossover to get this brand out there? Because usually in the podcast industry, to really do good, you got to at least be there at least 4 years of good stuff. And I guess my question is, how do you begin to craft that for yourself to make sure it's a successful show?
Well, I have a muse. You asked what other podcasts that I, so I have had the greatest opportunity to meet a lot of different celebrities that are in the home services, market. I've met the laundry guy. I've met A.T. Williams from Hack My Home on Netflix a couple times at different shows. I've met Egypt Sherrod and her husband Mike. So Egypt and Mike, they are on Married to Real Estate on HGTV.
Yeah.
But they also have a Marriage and Money podcast where they bring on celebrities. So that's kind of like the muse. And Egypt used to be a well-known radio personality.
Right.
I believe it was in New York. And then and then her husband is a DJ. And so they do it all. They do real estate together. He still DJs. I don't know if she still DJs, but they also have the podcast where they bring celebrities and talk about marriage, and then their TV show, they're doing real estate. Like, they're really doing it all. So they're really a great example of a couple who can do a podcast and then also do what they love, which is real estate and music. So, I feel like all of it can tie together, because if people know me as an artist, just like them, they're on HGTV, people want to hear their podcast.
Right.
Or if people don't know they're on HGTV, they'll hear their podcast and then find out they're on HGTV. And when I tell you, one show, they brought out the crowd. I met the Queen of Zamunda. They brought her out at one of our shows backstage. And I also heard there was like a very popular DJ that came out. I didn't see him, but I heard Frank Ski came out to that particular show as well. Wow. And it's because they're so popular. When I tell you the crowds that they draw every time they've been at one of our shows, like, it's amazing. And so I don't want to be like them because I'm doing something different, but I would love to be as successful as them.
Okay, I get you. My next question. I'm trying to think how to phrase this the right way. How difficult do you think it's going to be for you? Because it takes a lot of work, and it takes just as much work as a songwriter and stuff. But let's be real. What are you afraid of crossing over into this field? Okay, because you're busy.
Yes, time is my biggest commodity.
You know why I said that, right? Because when we talked to ourselves, do you really have time to do this?
I was like, I have so much to do today, but I can come at 8 if you're going to be there. Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to be here, but I was like, let's give it a shot. Yeah. But yeah, I'm literally constantly busy. Like, my days sometimes are like working, get off work, have a meeting sometimes, or sometimes get off work and working on music or working on a show or planning a show. Like, it's like I'm constantly doing something on top of taking care of my home and, being there for my family and my kids. And I have a granddaughter now. She's a year old. So like, my family is very important to me. My family, we're all very close and I love them dearly. And my parents, my siblings, my kids, my daughter, cousins, like, it's a lot of us. And that's another thing. Like, I have a lot of family that are also artists or doing things. Like, I don't want to spill the beans, but man, when I tell you some people that I can bring in that are my cousins, my close cousins, that
as long as you're giving me some of the biscuits and gravy,
I can't say it on this, but I can tell you off the table. Yeah, but when I tell you some of my family that I can bring on here, it's ridiculous, and these are literally like my family.
Wow. Now, when you mention time, how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna make the time to have a successful podcast, to deal with the cancellations, to deal with the overbook, to deal with the fact that, you got a concert tour and people expecting your show to air every Sunday. I'm just giving you what I deal with.
Yeah.
I'm laying
that is
the attitude,
I understand
the unscript.
Yeah.
The take one, take two, the frustration that comes with being successful with this.
Well, we talked about connections, right?
Yeah.
So the other night when I was out, when we didn't meet, I made a connection. Well, it's a connection I already have, a friend of mine.
Well, it's not like I didn't want to meet.
No. It was just a scheduling situation.
Yeah, okay.
But it worked out because where I ended up being, I ended up asking a friend of mine. I was like, "Hey, would you like to have your own show?" And she was like, well, I already do radio. And I was like, no, would you like to have your own show? I said, because I'm about to start this podcast on location. And with me being an artist, I'm not going to always be able to be the one behind the mic doing the podcast. I might need to be the one interviewed. So would you like to have your own show? And would you also like to help me sometimes on my show? She was like, girl, yes, let's talk about it. So I'm bringing in some help.
That was my next question.
Yes.
That's where I was leading to.
Yes.
Okay.
Bringing in some help. And then also DJ Brummy D, my station manager in the UK, he's on holiday right now. He's gone for a few weeks to the Philippines, but he helps me tremendously. So even though he can't be here in town, he can do digital interviews. So he's already doing the radio interviews, and he'll be able to go online. We talked about that when he comes back from holiday, that we'll start working on how he can stream. And like, if I can't do it, he can do it. And
we can do that too.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm here. But I thought you meant like outside of you. I didn't know I need to tell you too. But like you too.
You mentioned something that I think people need to understand. It's amazing how information is changed through the podcast industry.
Yes.
I remember when I first started this 4 years ago, and I remember to this day, I didn't even know what a podcast was.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is a podcast? And I go into this guy's house, and I'm looking around, and I didn't really get the full magnitude until after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, now let's start this production. And I remember him having some cameras. I said, hey, man, what's those cameras for? He goes, those are for streaming. I said, what's streaming? He said, oh, well, that goes out on, because I knew streaming, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm like Jason Bourne on some shit. I'm like, so you mean they're watching me on live? He said, yeah, it's right, it's live.
Yeah.
I said, tell you what, let's take this to another level.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a school teacher. I said, there's two ways of learning, video and audio.
Yeah.
And he goes, Trey, nobody's going to watch a podcast. A podcast is about talking. I said, I'm getting ready to change the whole game up.
After this interview, wait till I found out something today.
What you find out? Oh, don't tell me yet.
I can't tell you on because we gonna do it.
Really?
But I can't. Yeah.
Okay.
I found out something. Was doing some research before I told you I'm always busy. I was doing some research on some stuff for us before I came here.
See, this is what I try to tell people. The crab in the bucket thing. Let's go back to this for a minute.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody in this universe to be successful.
Yes.
It's enough for everybody. I tell people, think of me as Jesus. I want everybody to come to the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not 12, but everybody.
Blessings
think
multiplied.
Of ants.
Yeah.
Think of ants. Like, think of an ant. Like, if you have a very big, talented ant who wanted to bring crumbs to their family, and that one ant goes out there, they're going to be faced with predators, and that one ant's going to be out there by themselves. They might be successful bringing a big morsel of food, but then they also face more challenges alone.
Yeah.
But when they bring their whole ant tribe, they all work together, they're going to bring more, and they're going to all eat. Like, it's the same thing.
Oh, I love that analogy. I do.
Speaking of that, how does I know you're going to be tackling social issues on your podcast because you're really big, and I like your spirituality. I like the way that universal harmony, and I tell people a lot of times I can get a little moody. She just seen me, and that's because I'm out of that element. I'm like, okay, just give me a moment of silence. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just give me that moment of silence so I can get back in my. When you let me rephrase this. Thank you for the download. When you're a creator, you have to have that clarity.
Yes.
Or then everything.
The necessity.
Yeah, because if I don't, I just go crazy. But to go back to the question in general, you're very vocal. I won't say political, but with social justice and stuff. So what are some of the topics you're going to be covering outside of entertainment? You wasn't prepared for that, was you?
No. I'm the type of person that is not going to be about it's right or wrong for me. It's what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I don't care who you affiliate with. So the political climate right now, that's probably one of the biggest examples. And, you have people who don't believe, immigrants should be here if they came here illegally, right?
Right.
So, okay, I get it. They probably should do things a legal way, and you want to make sure that people follow the rules. I get it. But to tear families apart.
I'm against all of that.
And to have children crying and women being and men being drug on the floor and children being zip tied. Like, that's absolutely evil to me.
Yeah.
And I don't care how they got here. Do something else. Like, have them go through a due process or something.
Yeah.
Get them legal, whatever. But don't. That's just.
And people
that's
fail
just
to realize
evil to me.
history. You're talking to a history guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at how this country evolved on the backs of tons of people that went to native to the country.
Yeah.
Came in and did what they did.
Yeah.
Let's get real. Yeah, I agree with it. I'm glad you're going to be addressing things like that, social injustice. And what about women? You're a strong woman of color.
Oh, I'm a girl's girl.
Okay.
And I mean, not just girl of color. Girl. I don't care what color you are. I'm a girl's girl. Like, I grew up with a strong sense of love from everyone in my family, the men and the women in my family.
Right.
My mom, my aunts, uncles, they are all so beautiful on the inside and out. They taught me, they have grace, they're so gorgeous. Like, and I grew up around that. My cousins, my sister, like, just, I grew up around beauty. And so I'm not one of those people that are like, oh my God, when she thinks she's cute. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like, I'm not, a rainbow or anything, but I can acknowledge, like, and I don't get jealous. Like, just because a woman is beautiful doesn't take away anything from me. Or even if there's another talented artist or singer, I can acknowledge that they're talented. It doesn't take anything from me. I still feel good in my skin.
It's not a competition.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes.
And then people will try to have silent competitions with me, and I'm like, you're on your own. I'm not competing with you. I'm just doing what I do.
What is a silent competition? Give me this woman talk. What's a silent competition?
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, give me this woman talk. What's a silent competition?
A silent competition is a competition that someone puts themselves in with you that you didn't agree to and that you are really unaware of until you realize what's going on.
Oh.
So it'll be like a situation where someone might like the way you dress, or someone might like the way you sing, or your job, or your hair, or your accomplishments. And then they start trying to outdo you or whatever. And I just think that's so crazy because...
Does that really go on?
Yes.
With women?
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of, lifting each other up or complimenting each other, it's like you said, you want to be the one superior in that particular category.
You want to be the better singer.
Yes.
You want to be the better looking person.
Category.
You want to be the person with more money or the better job. Me. And I find like that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unnecessary, because when I tell you my friends are the best of the best, and I love them all dearly, and they're beautiful, and they're the best at whatever it is that they do.
And like you said, there's power in numbers.
There's power in numbers.
Yes.
And when I'm with my girlfriends, like, I hear these, stories about women not being able to get together and being catty. That is not my story. And when it's from family down to my friendships last decades, and when we're together, like, it's the same love at this big age. I don't tell my age online, but it's the same love at this big age as it was when we were children. Like, we love each other.
Why do you think that still exists? You would think that there would be enough self-confidence and empowerment in both men and women that these things would not resonate in this day and age.
I'm glad you said men and women, because it's happened with men as well.
None of my guy friends are like that.
Mine aren't either. My none of my friends are like that, but people are like that, where they want to be the center of attention, and they'll try to purposely push everyone behind them just so they can be front and center. And I feel good about my talents. I feel good about my accomplishments. And if I'm in a room full of people and I see somebody who's like trying to push themselves to the front, I don't try to compete with that. I just be like, they can have it. I'm just going to
People just feel threatened by the successes of the successes of others, rather than, again, want to compliment for or even
acknowledge
and think how they can even benefit from somebody else's, like, what that can do to even help inspire and bring out the best in themselves by looking at other people.
And people don't realize they mess up.
You sound like you're speaking from experience too.
Yeah. You had some catty situations,
sure.
some silent competitions.
Yes, for sure.
I think we all have as women. I think that we all have, and it's unfortunate that we have to deal with that sometimes, but I got to the point where I just don't do it. When I feel it, you can feel it. Like, we're women, we have intuition. We might not feel it initially, but after so many interactions, you can feel it, and then you start noticing things. It's like, wait a minute, like this isn't a genuine friendship, or this isn't a genuine person to me, or this person is, every time there's an opportunity for me to speak or to sing or whatever, this person like tries to like push me back or try to push themselves forward. So when I notice it happens, I just remove myself. I don't fight, I just remove myself.
Well, how does the opposite feel good? That's what I don't understand. How does doing feeling the opposite, or having an opposite agenda, how does that even feel good?
It doesn't feel good at all.
No.
I just remove myself, and then sometimes it's like, wow, like I actually really liked you and have ways that I could help you that you don't realize, but now I don't want to because you're being a meanie.
Yeah, right. And you don't want that to contaminate you, right?
Yeah.
I can't let that get into my zone.
Right, because what we were talking about with focus and clarity as an artist, and especially an artist and an entrepreneur and an employee and family person, like I need clarity and focus. I don't let people come into my space and into my life to cause commotion and chaos. I have to have the peace. That's the only way I'm going to be able to carry out everything that I'm trying to do.
What's going to make your podcast different?
The on location component, I think, is one thing, because I literally can be here or in Atlanta or in Houston, or within the community and doing different things, or on a video with a Hollywood celebrity, and I feel like the fact that I can be community based and then also reach that far out to the connections that I have, and have that, I think that's what will be attractive to people to want to see the podcast, because it'll be a variety of different things. Like, I'm an eclectic genre, I'm going to have an eclectic podcast.
There's a relatability to the general public. In addition to showcasing.
Who's she going to have on this week? What are they going to be talking about this week? Where's she going to be? Like Carmen Sandiego. People already say that about me anyway, so why not just turn it into a podcast?
So let's go. Let me ask this question. The universe moves in mysterious ways. I always tell people there's a reason people come into your life. You need to figure out what that is. Yeah. We missed that event. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. They're there every Thursday.
But after that, you had an encounter with a young lady. What attracted you to even feel like that person would fit the mold for you?
Well, we're already friends.
Okay.
She's got a great spirit. She's beautiful inside and out.
Okay.
She was the one that invited me to the event.
Okay.
And she's very busy as well, and she travels as well. And I was looking at her and I'm like, wait a minute. We also almost kind of dressed alike by accident that night.
You ever think that that's your, what we call
divine intervention?
Well, not really divine intervention. I always tell people, let me use this as a phrase. I know I'm a man, but I also need to have that feminine part. So a lot of times in that feminine part, you see yourself.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what, yeah. I do. And we both see ourselves in each other. We both have said that. Yeah. We both see it. And because, like, when I noticed the outfit, she was like, dang, I should have you style me. I was like, we pretty much almost look like like the way our outfits were was very similar. And she was like, yeah. And then she like was kind of processing it. She was like, yeah, I didn't post it because like I didn't copy her. She was like, yeah, I didn't post it. So you didn't know? I was like, no, like we just meshed, like it just happened. And it's she's just a bubbly personality. She travels too. She has things going on too. She's busy too. So we understand that about each other. We don't have to be all up in each other's skin and like act like it's a problem. Like we both understand that we're both busy, and we both have goals. Like she's out there doing her thing. I'm out there doing my thing, and it's like, hey, let's work together. You know, she's building a name for herself. I have one, and it's like, hey, let's do this together. And so we're going to talk about it some more and see what we can make shake.
What's your end game? You got so much going on. You got your foot on the ground on damn, look how I did that. You got your boots on the ground on I like those boots.
Thank you.
You got your boots on the ground with so many things. Like what? I don't think there is an end game for you. I think you just like life and just go with it.
I do love life. My end game is legacy.
Okay, all right, school me. School me.
I've always wanted to build a legacy of not just financial wellness, but mental, emotional, spiritual wellness.
Okay.
And so when people think of me, I want them to think joy. I want them to think peace. I want them to be inspired to be the best person that they can be, or understand that they can do anything that they want to do. A saying of mine is, you can do whatever you want. And sometimes when I say that, it kind of sounds like I'm being defiant, but it's like, because I'll be like, I can do whatever I want. Like, I say that a lot. And then, but then I will tell anybody, you can do whatever you want. And I say that because there's so many people who might have dreams or goals of their own, but they're like, oh, I can't do that because of this job, or I can't do that because I have kids. I can't do that because of my husband. No.
Those are limiting beliefs, right? Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs, and I learned something called borrowed beliefs, where you're taught something and it's ingrained in you and you believe it because you believe that's what you're supposed to do, but it's not really what's in your heart to do.
You know, man, you're going to be here all night talking, right?
I know.
Yeah, so borrowed beliefs. And I want people to be free to be who they are authentically, and I want to be an inspiration for that. And even me as an artist, like I'm not a young buck. Like I'm not a young. I look younger than what I am.
23, 24.
I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 1.
Woo!
I'm not super young.
Right.
So I want to be an inspiration even to people of older age to say, hey, you could do whatever you want. It's not too late. Like there's models that didn't start modeling until they were in their 70s. Actors. What's the one guy that got the God voice? He didn't start. What is his name? The guy that played God in that one movie. You know who I'm talking about. I can see his face, but I cannot think of his name.
Don't say Samuel Jackson.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Talking about Morgan Freeman?
Yes,
that's the one.
But was it Morgan Freeman? It might have been Samuel Jackson. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Because Samuel L. Jackson, didn't he start acting when he was later in age?
Yeah.
He became.
Was.
So like that's another example. Like people think, oh no, I'm too old for that. You are not too old for that. You're not.
I remember Samuel L. Jackson on a lot of people don't realize he was in Juice.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like really he was probably in his 40s.
Yeah.
When he was doing Juice.
Yeah. And so you hear stories like that, and then I hear people all the time. I literally told somebody that last week. No, you can do whatever you want. Like people think they hold themselves back, and it's like you don't have to. You can literally. I feel like if more people were in their authenticity, whether it be with their what they love, their jobs, their families, or their artistry, whatever it is that you do, if people were more authentic, I think there would be a lot more happy people in the world.
You said something that made that from the amount of people I had on my show, I asked them this question: what's your purpose? And they can't resonate that.
Mm-hmm.
Their purpose is always defined by 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Their job that they're attached to, and they say, do you love it? I hate my job. Or they say, well, it's paying the bills.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what
That's
do you
not
want?
purpose.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you like to do? I don't know. I think that is like, I get what you're saying with the limited and shallow beliefs. I'm thinking, how can you go through life and not gamble on yourself? But you'll work your ass off to go buy a Louis Vuitton pocketbook to classify yourself.
Yeah.
I got a Louis Vuitton. I got red bottom shoes. But
that's that borrowed.
Thank you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But without knowing your why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without knowing your why.
That's I have this, I gained this, I got this Louis purse, and then what? You don't know your purpose, but you got a purse.
Yeah.
I've had.
You got to know your why.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people, since I started this podcast, and I'm so blessed. I love it when there was a young girl that was on last week, and I had no idea. I was just sitting at the desk editing and, looking at the lineup, and all of a sudden this thing, my phone ding, 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 ding. And I go and check, and she had wrote the most beautiful letter. And I said, hey, can I post that? And she's like, yeah. And when I read it, she said, I just felt so comfortable, and I finally had a chance to release all the trauma and things, and now I got a reason to have a why. And I'm thinking to myself, this was what it was all about. Because I tell people, I'm not trying to change the world. That if I can do something for one person
at a time,
I've done my thing. But what that made me at her age, I was just more proud that she was willing to gamble on herself.
Yeah.
She was like, Dre, I quit what I was doing, and I decided, you know what, I've done enough doing for somebody else. I want to pursue my dream, and now she's doing it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me happy to see people happy in what they're doing and succeed. That makes me happy.
Well, we just did a show with the real Damon James.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You
Oh.
talked about emotional, dude. I was trying to hold back the tears. And
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, just to watch and listen to a grown man pull himself out of addiction by himself.
Oh, wow.
When his mother grabbed him behind the neck and said, "Do not come back to my house."
Wow.
And to watch and listen to his story, it just empowers me more to see people come out of, to lift themselves up by the boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And say, I can do this a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
Not be set in that victim mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
To use those setbacks as empowerment.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
to strengthen what they already have inside of them. They
That's a
just
good point.
aren't willing to, they're not in a place to really see it and look at it and use it.
I have to say this. I really like your nails.
I was wondering what you was.
I'm a
Thank
girl's
you.
girl.
Well, I gotta give credit
She was like
because
doing it. I was like, that looks
my
cute.
18-year-old daughter did these. I didn't even pay for them.
Hey,
She
she
did them
did
at home
that.
in an hour. So yeah, I'll let her know.
She
She's
did
gonna
great.
be, and coming from you,
Yeah,
she's gonna be like, "Woo!" She did not just give my nails.
I told you I'm a girl's girl. Like.
Before we begin to wrap up, and first of all, thank you so much for taking time to come on the show and at least give us the blessing to help launch your podcast.
You are poised for impact. Let me tell you.
Oh, thank
What does
you.
that mean?
That's her legacy.
That's
her
her
That's
legacy.
what she wants to do.
Yeah.
She is out.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your music. I love your music. My favorite song is "Hey Jarrell, cut that
speakers.
Cut those speakers."
Hold on. What do you think? Hold
That's
on.
collab.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Hey, Chris, turn up the speakers. We got a collab.
I love that song. You have so many songs that we played that it's just like I listen. It's funny because sometimes I always play my favorite, but then that one would creep up, and I think that's the universe keep playing it over and over. And I think it's your newest song. How did that new song? Yeah, how did that come about, and the meaning behind it?
Ooh, Breathe came from me being exhausted from being so busy. Literally, the first lyrics is "It's Friday night and I need some rest." And that's
It's Saturday now.
I know, yeah.
So I was, I just had a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot going on, and personally, my job, I was just exhausted, and I have a hot tub, so I had been given this track that I hadn't listened to yet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go relax. I'm going to get in the hot tub and I'm going to listen to this track and see what comes. And the music, as soon as it started playing, it made me literally like exhale and breathe. Like I relaxed. And it was easy. Like as I'd like, hold on, rewind. Like I just kept playing it again. And I just caught myself like exhaling and breathing. And then I was like, okay. And then I just started, it's Friday night and I need some rest. And then I just want to breathe. It's talking about, of course, it's a romantic song as well, but it's Friday night, need some rest, been working all week, I need you here. But it's also talking about, how you can just sit with somebody and just you and me, and we'll just breathe. I just want to breathe. And then it's talking about I'm a super girl with my super guy, fly me away from all the grind. So it's also giving tribute to, if there's a woman listening with her man, giving tribute to the man in her life as well.
Let's talk about briefly men in your life. You've had some ups and downs. We ain't got to get into the ups and downs. I want to say that. But how has the ups and downs changed you, or has it changed you? I know you would probably want to be with a strong guy. Like, how important is a relationship and a strong man in your world? You wasn't ready for none of this, was you?
No, that's actually a multifaceted question for me, because it is important for me to have a strong man. With me being the type of woman I am, I guess alpha male or alpha female would be maybe or type A, whatever you want to call it. I'm a very strong-minded, strong-willed person. Like whatever it is I want to do, and I can't be with someone who's going to hold me back or say, no, you got to be with me, you can't do that anymore. Like I can't be with somebody. I would my desire would be to be with someone who is in his own purpose and strong-willed, and we can support each other. And I don't even want to be with anyone where I can't be his biggest cheerleader. Like, if I have a guy in front of me and he wants to date me, and I'm asking, hey, what's your purpose? What's your passion? And like, it's blank. Like, there's nothing there.
That's a red flag, right?
Yeah, I can't be with you because you're not going to understand what I'm doing. You're not going to understand why I feel so passionately about what it is that I do. And how can I be your biggest cheerleader when you don't have anything for me to cheer for? So
only reason why I say that, because I listen to your music on the I Am Beast Radio. Download the app free. And see
plug. Shameless plug.
You know I got to be funny too.
I got to get better at that too. When you do that, I love it though. Hey.
But the reason I was saying that is because not only are you a talented artist when it comes to music and lyrics, but you're a poet. Yes. And there's something that keeps playing on the I Am Beast Radio, and it's not you singing, it's you giving poetry.
Yeah.
And I go, why does this keep playing over and over again? So that was the universe saying.
Remember which one?
It was a beautiful poet. It was a beautiful poem.
Is it just poetry or song and poetry?
Just poetry. And it's short. It goes.
Sunblocked.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what are you telling me?
Oh, I got to tell you about Sunblocked.
Yeah, tell me about that.
We have. So I wrote Sunblocked for my mom.
Okay.
And I dedicated it to my grandmother who passed when I was 15. And the reason I wrote it is because every year in February at my grandmother's birthday, my mom gets so sad, and she reminisces, of course, but she gets so sad, and every year we see it. Like, every year, like, she'll talk about her mom. Hey, it's her birthday and I miss her so much. And even to this day, sometimes she'll cry. And my grandmother passed when I was a teenager,
right?
And I said, this is the year we're going to change that. And so Sunblocked is basically a tribute to my mom, how she's such a good person with a beautiful soul who's been through some things. Me too. Thank you. She's a lovable person.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to make sure that I tell her that you said that.
I think I told her at the kneecap thing. Yeah. We talked all the time we was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, it starts off, you were so beautiful, but your trauma is blocking your soul. Let me take you to the waters where you'll grow. By the clear, peaceful spring, love flows. You'll be showered by the sun and enlightened by the rain. And it just continues on. And at the end, I'm like, sunblocked by sun rays someday. The beauty I hope you reap because you've sown it.
Yeah, it keeps playing on the station. I'm like, at first I thought it was going to lead into some music, right?
No, it's
and
just,
then I said, it kept popping up, and I said, okay, wow, this is another facet that I didn't even know she had. You actually are a beautiful poet.
Thank you. And something else people don't know about that particular one, I work with a producer. We infused meditation sounds.
Nice.
So when you listen to it, I've literally
it's like a little water.
People, yes.
Yeah.
And there's also a frequency that I told the producer about. There's a frequency that
is
like a.
What number is it? Is it 7?
I don't remember. It might be 750. I can't remember. I think but we infused a frequency because I was like, I want to infuse a frequency so when people listen to this, it's a high vibration.
You know what I do when I hear it? I literally stop what I'm doing and I just start to breathe. I'm like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really the purpose of that poem, is to make people feel good, safe, know that, like, if they've been through something, that, they'll reap the benefits of what they sow if they're good people, whatever. And then it did work. My mom was not sad. I released it on my grandmother's birthday, the year that I did that.
Yeah.
And she didn't know I was doing that. I sent it to our family group chat, and she called me bawling. I mean, she was crying in happy tears, of course. And then she was like, I'm calling your Aunt Janice, and she's like calling her my daughter. And then now we turned her frown upside down,
And let me clarify. I wasn't trying to put your personal business out there. Let me tell the audience where I was going with that when we were talking about a man.
Oh yeah.
I was saying that because I listened to your songs. I listened to yours. I listened to Sasha's songs where she said, I'm no longer looking, and I tell people, sometimes you just need to listen.
Yeah.
Because she's sending out the breadcrumbs. Out there. Why do you think it's difficult for a man to understand what you want?
I don't think it's difficult. I think that some men just don't, they either don't want the same thing or they are not aligned. And that's okay.
Okay.
So when you said how important it is, so it's important for me to have a good man with with good character, strong morals, his own passions, but it's not more important for me to have a relationship than it is for me to be in my purpose. So I won't trade one for the other. So
what's your morals? What's your definition for morals?
Good moral character. You know, you care about people, you treat people kindly. Like there have been men who have, you know, people are interested in me and they'll lead with their jobs or they'll lead with their money or the things that they have, and every time they do it, the first thing out of my mouth is, how are you going to treat me?
Wow.
I care about that more than anything.
What do they say? I'm just curious. Because if they're leading with that, they can't come back with anything.
Yeah, I really don't. I stump a lot of guys with that question.
Yeah, I bet.
Actually.
Yeah.
Well, because that's that perception, is that's what. Yeah, that's what's wanted.
They see me traveling. They see me like how I dress or whatever, and they think that that's what I want.
Right.
But,
do you intimidate? Not meaning like this. Not intentionally.
Right. Not intentionally.
I might. But it's not intentional, and I don't want to. Like, I don't want to make anybody feel intimidated by me. That's why I need a strong man, because like I've met strong men over the years, and I've had a really good relationship after my divorce where he was very strong. What happened with that, he ended up getting very sick, and he actually broke up with me because he didn't want me taking care of him. But
how does that make you feel?
I was very sad. We both were very sad because he was in radio and we had a plan, and we were very, very aligned, very connected. He was very good. Like he was very busy, but I never wondered where I stood with him. I never had to question his loyalty to me. I never had to question his availability or presence to me. And he was he is probably still, he didn't pass or anything, but he's always been very successful. So he was never intimidated by what I was doing. Matter of fact, he wanted to help me even more. So it was like we were aligned to the point where everything I did, he had done better. Like we had like a lot of parallel things happen in our lives where, you know, for example, I was a stockbroker. He owned a broker's firm. Like everything I did, he did better. So I remember one particular conversation. I was like, I want to go on tour. I said, I really want to release this next album. And I said, I really want to go on tour. And he was like encouraging me. He was like, oh, wow. He was like, I can't wait. He was like, it's going to be so exciting. And I was surprised because I'm like used to people saying, how are you going to do that with kids? And how, like, why do you want to leave? Like, you're going to cook for me? Like, but he was like so excited. And I was like, wow, thank you, so much for your support. And I was like, you don't mind that I'm going to be out there touring? And his response was, he was like, baby, he would call me Baby Dolly. He would be like, Baby Dolly. He said, if you're going to be on tour, I'm driving the bus. Where are we going?
So he complimented you where you were at.
Yeah. Yes. And then he wanted to build a studio, either in Vegas or California. Yeah. Him and his partner were planning that. And he would say stuff like, he would be like, hey, he would call me. He was like, I'm so excited. He was like, I'll be in one room, like doing an interview or doing radio. And he was like, you could be recording. Yeah. You could be in another one recording. And then we can go have lunch. Like that was the things that we talked about.
That's beautiful.
And that it was beautiful. And then you have men that come behind that. And it's like, I'm good. Like, I would rather just be single until I can find another alignment that is like close to my heart.
Well, and it says a lot about his character. I mean, how do you measure up to that kind of character when you have somebody who realizes that circumstance of falling ill is going to create a potential handicap for you?
He did not want
that. And so
it's
like, I just need to
literally would not let me help him.
So, and how do you, I think
it was tough.
And that's hard to find somebody who
let me go rather than have me help take care of him.
Right. But then to find somebody else out there who has those same kinds of, values and.
But you know what? I'm not discouraged because I believed if I was given it once, like it could happen again.
Yes.
Like I'm not afraid. Like, and I'm not one of those people that like, oh, there's this many women to one man. I don't care about statistics because, all I need is one, and I feel like I wasn't made to be out here the way that I am, and there isn't a counterpart out there for me. Like, so I'm not afraid. of that. I'm not. And then people are like, "Oh, you're so picky, or you can't find."
Well, do
I'm
you
like,
really have time to cultivate a relationship? I'm just getting all in your business.
I know.
Well,
I'm trying to play matchmaker.
for
Die Dre.
I know.
for the right man,
You'll make time
with the right purpose and the right attitude. We can make time because, like I said, I expect him to be busy in his purpose as well. And with that particular guy, he was just as busy as I was, and he was at that time traveling way more than I was. And there were times in the beginning of the relationship where I would get nervous. Like he would be like, "Hey, I'm going to Vegas, or I'm going to California, and I'm working on this business deal." And in my mind, just from past experiences, my mind would go, "Okay, I'm probably not going to talk to him for a few days." He called me every day.
Wow.
And there would be times where, "Hey, I want to just call him. Let me just see." And then if I call, he didn't answer, I'd be like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to him, when he gets back." Nope. If he couldn't call me, he would text me. He'd be like, "Hey, I'm in a meeting, but I'm going to call you when I get back." And I'd be like, he's probably not. He would text me that. And then my mind would be like, he's not going to call back. He would call back every time. I could count on him. And
so he found a way. No matter what, he found the time. He found a way.
Yeah, and there's been other men like that, and I find that these men are very successful in their own right, and they're not intimidated by women like me because they're secure in themselves. They don't need to be. Like you have men, a lot of men that are like wanting to pull from you and like, "Hey, what can you do for me?" type men. And there's been conversations I've had with different men that I've dated, maybe not turned into a serious relationship, but I remember one guy that I was talking to some years ago, and we were talking about like our favorite foods, and I was like, "I really love eggs Benedict," and I was like, "I like to make it different ways. I like fried chicken eggs Benedict, salmon eggs Benedict, Krabby Patty eggs Benedict," and I was like, "Hey," he lived in California. I was like, "Hey, when I come to California, I'll make you some eggs Benedict." And his response to that, in a sea of men who would be like, "Yeah, yeah," his response to that, he was like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. I'll take you out."
Wow.
And I've gotten to learn that there are people, there are men that will try to tell me that there aren't men like that, and then there are men like that that'll show me that there are men like that. And so I'm not afraid.
Before we wrap up, I don't say a wrap up for the last 10 minutes, but
I know.
I don't get this opportunity to be with two beautiful women and try to get educated. You know what I mean?
With her nails.
Yeah.
So my question to you, you're getting ready to launch your podcast.
Yes.
How much of you are going to be put in there? I know you're going to be interviewing other people and celebrities, but how much of you is going to be in there? Just like you was candid with telling the viewers about a little bit of your personal life without getting too personal. How much of that's going to be about you in season one? Notice how I said season one.
I'm going to interject me into every episode. And here's why. Because when I was successful doing this before, I was authentic. I didn't try to like study other personalities and do what they do. I was literally myself, and everybody, it caught on. People loved that about me. I was goofy. I was funny. Like I was being myself.
Are you funny? Because I've never seen you funny yet.
Oh my gosh. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Well, we get off camera.
I'm such a goober. I am so silly.
Really?
And I mean, maybe it comes out more when we're not talking about like things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm so silly. Like I'm always cracking up. Like you can't. It's hard for me. We at the thing I was at Skyline the other day. We were there. There was a game where after she set the timer, if you smile, like everybody had a ticket. If you smile, you take your ticket, and if you don't have a ticket at the end, like you're everybody had a gift. So the people who had the most tickets pick their gifts first. If you didn't have a ticket, you go last. I was the first person without a ticket.
Really?
Yeah, because I laugh and smile so much, and literally it was Geno Shelton said something to me. He goes, he was like, "Hey Kay," he was like, "You look so nice." He was like, "You look like Shaka Khan," and I just burst out laughing.
Oh my god!
And then they were like, he was like, "Give me your ticket." I was like, "Ah."
So before we end, when does the show? When is your first premiere? How can they stream it? How can they listen to it? What's your game plan so people can know about it?
Well, the game plan is the first interview is Tuesday.
This Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
Okay. Wow.
Tuesday. it'll be with a model actor, and he's also with a group of guys that do a lot of things in the community, women's empowerment, mentorship to younger men. And I'm excited to have him on. He's actually in Houston right now with his group. He may be back, I'm not sure. But that'll be the first interview here in the studio. I actually did a test interview like in my home studio with my brother. I am going to later edit that and post that too, but this will be the first interview with us. And it's going to be streaming everywhere.
Really?
We're going to stream it on social media platforms, on your platform, the Neo Jazz Radio platform.
Wow.
It's going to be a really nice collaboration. I'm excited about it.
Now, is your show going to be weekly, monthly? How can people be able to follow you?
Well, because I'm so busy, it's hard for me to say, hey, it's going to be this day, every day or every week. So when I first said I was going to do this, I said the only time I have is to do this twice a month. Right. But what I'm learning is like it's also if I do the home thing, or like even if you're part of it, like we could stream.
Did you say if I'm part of it?
Well, no, like a particular. If you're on a particular interview, you know what I mean? Like if you're on a particular interview. So let's say for example, I cannot get here. Like let's say I'm just so busy, or I'm on site at work and I just cannot do it. I can be like, hey Andre, can you bring them in the studio, and then we can. If I'm in my hotel room after our show, then you stream me from there. So that's the part of the collaboration.
I like the way you think.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean we can't do it. We just have to do it a different way. And then also the other girl that I'm going to bring in, she'll be able to help with that as well. So how
much time have you put into all this, girl?
A lot. I did a lot of research, and when I can't tell on the air, but afterwards, what I found out today that we can do, oh my God.
See, I want to drink already.
Me too. What I found out today that we can do, and we're going to do it. Like, I'm so excited.
Is it going to benefit the people? That's all I'm concerned about.
Absolutely. It'll be easy for them to watch on whatever platform they're on.
Okay. I like that.
And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
I like that. And so before we wrap up, let's talk about you. You blessed me with coming on just and sharing such a beautiful story of a woman who unfortunately had her back against the wall and lost your career, and you're trying to regain your career and stuff. And I really appreciate you coming with that story. It was met with a lot of resentment. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's your story. You had to tell it. You felt better. What's in store for you?
In store for me, my goodness. Well, like you, I mean, I want to make impact. I had purpose in the classroom, and I know that those same characteristics, those same attributes, still lie within me. Yeah. And but now I'm not confined to classroom walls to make that impact. I mean, there's an opportunity out there for me to impact others in a very positive way. I love education. I love helping students rise and recognize their potential and rise up to meeting that potential. And so, I have an online tutoring platform that I'm looking to launch and put together. Wow. So that's just one of the many ways I'm looking to make a positive impact.
Yeah, my mom was a teacher, and I'm wondering if maybe that's where I get that from, because I grew up, watching her pour into children and pour into us.
Well, that's definitely a purpose-driven profession, absolutely. For sure.
So. And then my brother was also in the school system for like over almost 30 years, and he got out to do real estate. And
see, now there is life after teaching.
Yeah, there is.
The world is your classroom now.
Absolutely, that's exactly it. Yep. I'm not confined to those walls. So, and I'm not confined by the circumstances. Yeah. So, you look at.
I have something to share.
Oh goodness, yes.
So, something that I have experience like over the years, and how things bad happen and you like worry and you get down and you're scared or whatever, and I have learned through different circumstances that especially if you're praying or wanting something, have intent for something new to come into your life, I have noticed that whenever I have asked for something, things start to seem to fall apart before they come together. And it's almost like the thing I asked for, the opposite starts to happen. And so at first I used to like be scared. It's like, oh my God, like this is what I asked for. And what comes from it is things are shifting. So you have to be made uncomfortable so you can be shifted out of the one situation and things start shifting around. And then next thing you know, you're in a way better position than you ever imagined.
So embrace the transformation.
And embrace the transformation, because it's things shifting in your favor for you to be able to embrace what's to come.
Right.
And receive it. Because imagine if you didn't have that happen, would you be sitting here talking about the world
Absolutely
as your
not.
classroom? So I feel like, it might be uncomfortable for a while, it might be scary, but then what's going to come from it is going to be even greater. It's even greater for your purpose. Past the classroom is going to be a much greater setting for you.
Yeah, that's exactly my mindset too. That I know that I'm definitely. I was just realized that, and once I did finally, like you said, embrace, those setbacks and realize that it's because I was made for so much more.
Yeah. And then in those times that get scary, I just feel like I need to share this too. So in those times where you get scared or upset or whatever, you don't know what you're going to do. Like in those moments, I have a saying, and I share this with my family and friends. I'll say two things. I'm always taken care of. I say I'm always taken care of, and everything is okay. And even if I don't feel like that at the moment, I repeat it to myself. I'm always taken care of. As soon as I get upset, I'm always taken care of. I'm okay. I'm okay. Everything's okay. And it always ends up being that way.
And we do. There are even in tough circumstances, there are still ways, if we just pause and think about it, look at the ways in which we are. Those blessings are still there and around us.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can just, like I said, I can tell already just the impact that you're going to have too. So I
sure hope so. I just love helping people.
It's so beautiful to watch two beautiful women just converse.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there and in our own ways, help change this world and make it better.
That's right.
Kay, how can the viewers reach out to you? And once again, tell us when this podcast is going to be released and the name of the show.
The name of the show is On Location with K Hugs. You can find me on my website. This is going to be the easiest way to find me, khugs.com. That's KHUGGS. And everything will be there. You'll be able to find my links to all social media, to the TV, to the podcast and everything, to Andre The Beast Crayton, to my network. I'm gonna add everything. I built websites too, so I'm adding everything, and I can't wait till we get off this microphone because I got like something to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you.
I know. I've been thinking about that for the last 25-30 minutes. Like, can we wrap so that I can hear? I want these details.
Inquiring minds want to know.
We can ready to wrap up, but before we wrap up, I'm gonna let K Hugs take us out with one of her favorite songs. Yes. Go for it.
What, am I singing it?
Yeah, you're singing it. Sing something that I can be the background, like boop, boop, boop.
So you want something upbeat?
Yeah.
Play the music high, bump the speakers loud,
so loud.
We gonna rock. Sorry. We gonna rock the crowd, we gonna do it now, gonna make you lose your mind. Play the music high, bump the speakers loud,
so loud.
We gonna rock the crowd, we gonna do it now, gonna make you lose your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show.